Hi everybody, Honest John here. Now that Trump's attempt to overturn the will of the American people and install himself as a dictator has come to an ignominious end, we can finally move on to a better future with a president who will actually be competent and capable and willing to do the job he was elected to do. One of the things that has been most striking about the Trump presidency was how much he resented the actual responsibilities of the job of being president. Trump refused to read his daily briefings, and he hated his in-person briefings that he sometimes had to sit through. Right from the start of his tenure, reports leaked out of the White House that Trump's attention would wander during those briefings and he would become angry and resentful. And if the subject of Russia came up, Trump would fly into a rage. He also refused to prepare for meetings with foreign leaders. Usually when a president meets with world leaders, he spends hours preparing, learning as much as possible about the people that he's going to be meeting with and the most important issues of cooperation and contention between the U.S. and those other countries. Trump refused to do any preparation at all. Trump's policy decisions have been based on whims, false information, or how he felt about the other person. And so they learned very quickly that if they flattered Trump, they could get what they wanted. We also saw during the Ukraine scandal that Trump's personal political interests have always taken precedence over what's good for the country, and of course Trump's financial interests have also shaped his decisions. And then anything that Vladimir Putin wanted, he would get. Joe Biden is going to have to work very hard to try to fix all the damage that Trump has done to this country. And then there's the COVID virus. And when the COVID virus landed on our shores, again, Trump resisted doing his job. He had all these levers of power that he could use to combat the virus, and he refused to use them. When a natural disaster hits, it's the president's job to provide the states with the assistance that they need. Trump decided that the states were on their own, and when governors asked him for help, he would get angry. When he should have been performing partnerships with the governors, he was feuding with them instead. And he expected to be praised for the job he wasn't doing. You all saw it. He would come out and complain that he was not appreciated enough for what a great job he was doing, even as he wasn't doing it. And then when reporters would ask him why he wasn't doing things that he was supposed to do, he would accuse the reporter of asking a mean question and storm out of the room. Trump also actively sabotaged his own administration's attempts to try to contain the virus, not only with his tweets, but with his actions as well, holding big rallies in hotspots that have been responsible for hundreds of deaths. So here we are, over 12 million recorded cases of COVID-19. The real numbers are probably much higher, and over 250,000 deaths, many of which could have been avoided if Trump had simply done his job. And yet Trump insists that he lost the election because of voter fraud, which there is absolutely no evidence of. And many of his fans believe it. It somehow doesn't occur to them that causing 250,000 deaths might piss off a lot of people and scare the shit out of a lot of others. Believe me, there was no need for any cheating or voter fraud during this election. And Trump's claim about voter fraud have not only been so ridiculous that even judges that he appointed to the bench, who really wanted to side with him, have had to reject his false claims. But here's how stupid Trump fans are. Last week, a nurse appeared on one of the news shows, and she said that there were Trump fans in her intensive care unit who insisted that coronavirus was a hoax even as they were dying from it. That's just taking stupid from the cradle to the grave. Thanks for listening.